on July 4th. There are 8 volcanic islands which form our island archipelago. The 5 main islands are Hawaii, Maui, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. Our largest city is Honolulu on the island of Oahu. Our second largest city is Hilo, on the island of Hawaii, often called the Big Island. Because our islands are located in the trade wind belt of the warm low latitudes, winds blow almost continuously from the same direction, from northeast to southwest. These winds pick up moisture as they pass over the warm Pacific Ocean. When they reach the north and east slopes of the mountains of the Hawaiian archipelago, the winds rise. As they rise, the air becomes cool and rain falls. Because of this, the windward sides of our abundant rainfall, while only a few miles away on the south and west sides of the islands, known as the leeward side, little rain falls. Tropical rainforests are found in the wettest parts of our island state. Here there are tangles of trees and vines and endless varieties of plants. Many of the plants found here grow nowhere in the world. We also have a great variety of tropical fruits, including bananas and papaya. Papaya is a melon-like fruit. And of course, Hawaii, like other tropical islands, has men and boys become skillful in climbing them to pick the ripe coconuts. Our state has a rapidly growing population of more than 600,000 people. About 300,000, or almost half of our people, live in the city of Honolulu on the island of Oahu. The city of Honolulu is the capital of our new state, as well as the business and trading center for all of the islands, and a great part of the entire Pacific area as well. Business life here is the same as life in any other modern American city. The people of my state represent many different nationalities: Chinese, Japanese. Probably nowhere else in the world do so many people of so many different cultural groups live together so peacefully. On our big island, the island of Hawaii, just at the base of an extinct volcano, is our second largest city in the state of Hawaii, Hilo. Hilo has a population of about 35,000. Hilo is the business center for the ranchers and agricultural workers on the island. Our people live in houses very much like those in the other 49 states. Many of them, however, are raised off the ground to allow the warm tropical air to circulate and cool the houses. This is the home of the Bright family. Mr. Bright is a supervisor on a large sugar plantation just a few miles outside the city of Hilo. Mrs. Bright bids goodbye to their son Hiram and to their daughter Leilani. The children are on their way to school. Their father will drop them off on his way to work. Going to school in Hawaii is not very different from going to school on the mainland, except that classes usually begin about 8 o'clock in the morning and get out earlier in the afternoon. This is a local grammar school, and today the teacher is explaining about volcanoes. Leilani and her fellow students are very interested, especially since they are actually living on a volcanic island. The teacher explains that inside a volcano, a long tunnel or vent leads deep into the earth, where the temperature is high enough to melt rock. When the pressure from below is great enough, this melted rock is forced up through the vent. When this happens, rock and ash are blown out or erupted. The melted rock or lava follows. Layers of this overflow build up the volcano's sides to form a cone or crater. The river of molten lava flows slowly down the mountainside like thick molasses. Vegetation and everything in the path of the hot lava flow is destroyed. As the lava cools, it forms rock. Heat and rain act to break the rock into smaller and smaller pieces. Over a long period of years, soil is formed from the lava. The volcanic soil of the Hawaiian Islands is fertile and productive. Conditions of climate and soil make it possible for Hawaii to produce large quantities of sugarcane, our state's leading product. Scientific agricultural methods play in our sugar industry. Mr. Bright with this year's crop. It takes about 2 years for sugarcane to mature. At harvesting time, it may stand 20 feet high. As the cane ripens, it sheds its older leaves, which become a dry, tangled mass around the cane stalks. The first step in the harvesting of the cane is the burning off of these leaves. Burning does not harm the sugar cane in any way. Our sugar industry is highly mechanized. Although some hand cutting is still practiced, most of Hawaii's cane is mechanically harvested. Huge loaders scoop up the cane stalks and dump them into trucks capable of carrying 20 tons. The trucks transport the cane to the sugar mills. Here, the cane is first weighed and then dumped onto conveyor belts. These belts carry the cane through a washing process and then on into the mill where huge rollers crush out the juice from which the raw sugar is obtained. The raw sugar is delivered to ships, which carry it to the mainland for further refining to make white sugar. The second most important agricultural industry in the state of Hawaii is the growing and processing of pineapple. Pineapples are grown on almost all of the major islands. The harvesting of pineapples, like that of sugarcane, is an almost completely mechanized operation. Pickers move slowly through the fields, selecting only the ripe fruit. They twist the pineapple from the plant and place it on a specially designed conveyor belt. The pineapples are then loaded onto trucks for delivery to the cannery. Hawaii's pineapple canneries are noted for their cleanliness and efficiency. As the fruit comes into the cannery, it is automatically selected as to size. The pineapples are then moved along to be sliced, carefully inspected, and canned. Hawaii's canneries produce almost 65% of the world's supply of canned pineapples, over 30 million cases a year. Many high school and university students earn money to help pay their school expenses by working in the pineapple fields and canneries. The cases of canned pineapple are then loaded aboard freighters for shipment to the mainland of the United States and throughout the world. Every few weeks, Mr. Bright goes to Honolulu to visit the main office of the sugar company for which he works. On this trip, he is taking Mrs. Bright and his 2 children along. They will enjoy a pleasant holiday while he attends to business. Traffic between the islands of our state is mostly by plane, but the distances are short. For example, it is only about an hour's flight time between Hilo and Honolulu. The islands of Hawaii are a thrilling sight from the air. Hiram and Leilani look down on volcanic cones, on green mountain slopes, and the drier agricultural valleys. They pass over the famous Parker Ranch, one of the largest cattle ranches to be found in the entire world. Enough cattle are raised here to supply almost all of the beef required to keep our people well supplied with meat. And if it weren't for an occasional palm tree or a cowboy singing a Hawaiian song, a cattle roundup here looks very little different from one in California or Texas. Honolulu's airport is one of the busiest in the world. Not only does it accommodate a constant flow of inter-island traffic, it also serves the thousands of passengers who fly to Hawaii each year for a vacation. Additional thousands of visitors come by ship, bringing the total number of visitors to Hawaii to more than 200. While Mr. Bright attends to his business, Mrs. Bright and the children visit the statue of King Kamehameha I. It was Kamehameha who first united all of the islands of the Hawaiian archipelago in 1795. He was a very good king, and to the time of his death in 1819, he promoted the welfare of the islands and his people, encouraging agriculture and the development of industry. Is the Iolani Palace, the former royal palace of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Today it houses the executive offices of our state. One of the most spectacular spots in Honolulu is the famous Nuuanu Pali. The Pali is a 2,000-foot gap in the mountain range, providing the visitor with a magnificent view of Oahu. That King Kamehameha drove the defending army over the precipice to conquer the island. Only about 5 miles from the city of Honolulu is the great United States naval base of Pearl Harbor. Every day the flag is raised over the sunken battleship Arizona as a reminder of that day in December 1941, when the Japanese made a sneak attack, causing the United States to enter World War II. More than 1,000 men are still entombed in the sunken battleship. The Bright family's visit coincides with Aloha Week. This week-long festival takes place in the fall of the year. Everyone wears aloha apparel. There are bands and colorful floats decorated with thousands of flowers for which Hawaii is so famous. During Aloha Week, the life of ancient Hawaii is reenacted. Then Hawaiians lived in thatched huts, and the queen was the symbol of unity. A principal food was poi, made from taro root. It is eaten with the fingers, and some say it tastes very much like thick paste. But our most famous custom is the hula, danced even by the young boys and girls. They tell a story with their hands while their hips sway to the beat of an island rhythm. Other sites which interest the Bright family include Diamond Head, an extinct volcano, perhaps Hawaii's most famous landmark. and the beach at Waikiki, center of our water sports. Mr. Bright has finished his work and now has time to have a little vacation of his own before returning home. What better place than on the beach at Waikiki? Here, surfboard riding is a real thrill. Hawaii is noted for its surfing, and there is nothing to compare with the thrill of racing in on the crest of the big waves. This is a reach to skill and balance. Anyone can do it. All you have to do is learn how. Well, the holiday for the Bright family is just about over. They board their plane to return to their home in Hilo. And so, as they say in Hawaiian, aloha, which means, among other things, goodbye, come back soon, until we meet again.